change is the biggest threat to our future.
The truth is, the natural world is changing, and we are totally dependent on that world. It provides our food, water and air. It's the most precious thing we have, and we need to defend it. Sir David Attenborough.
Action is the only solution.
We're the Living Seas Youth Forum, and in this short film we'll be talking about nature's climate heroes,
how we can all live more sustainably,
and how we can all use our voices to lobby for change.
Many plants and animals naturally store carbon. These are our climate heroes. By protecting these incredible species and their ecosystem, we can help to regulate our climate.
The biggest of these ocean climate heroes are whales. Some species such as minke and fin whale can be spotted here off the Welsh coast. Whales have an important role in capturing carbon. Throughout a whale's long lifetime, it collects carbon from its prey and stores it in its body. When a whale dies, its body sinks to the bottom of the ocean, where the carbon is stored and kept out of the atmosphere. Each whale absorbs 33 tonnes of carbon dioxide every year. This means that one whale stores the same amount of carbon as 1,000 trees. So, saving the whales is just as important as planting trees to help tackle climate change.
Another climate hero we have along the coast in Wales is seagrass. There are 4 species of seagrass here in the UK, including tasselweeds and eelgrass. Seagrass leaves are long and narrow, forming a 3-dimensional habitat which often clump together to form seagrass meadows. Seagrass meadows in the UK are important habitats which support a wide range of marine animals, including crustaceans, seahorses, octopuses, cuttlefish, invertebrates and fish. Seagrass is also important as it has a huge capacity for carbon storage. Like terrestrial plants, seagrasses take carbon out of the atmosphere to build their leaves and roots. When the seagrass and associated organisms die, the dead material collects on the seafloor. This material builds up into layers of sediment which can store carbon for thousands of years if it is not disturbed. Therefore, seagrass could be an important and natural solution to climate change.
Perhaps one of the smallest of our climate heroes, the copepod. Although microscopic, these tiny crustaceans make up the largest animal biomass on Earth and act as key food sources for species higher up in the food chain.
Their consumption of phytoplankton absorbs 2 billion tonnes of carbon each year. That's equivalent to 2/3 of human CO2 emissions.
Copepods undergo the largest migration in the world in terms of biomass. During winter, trillions of copepods migrate to deeper waters to hibernate. In doing so, they metabolize carbon-rich lipids and trap this carbon in deep ocean basins, known as the lipid pump.
So, even the smallest organisms play a vital role in keeping carbon out of the atmosphere, helping to mitigate climate change.
We've shown you 3 of our favourite climate heroes: whales, seagrass and copepods. It's essential to protect these and the many other species which provide benefits to the environment in order to regulate our climate for future generations.
With climate change becoming more of a reality, it's important we take responsibility for our actions and consider how sustainable our lifestyles are. For something to be sustainable, it must be able to continue forever without depleting natural resources and harming the environment. Here we're going to explore how you can live more sustainably.
The beauty and cosmetics industry produces up to 120 billion units of plastic packaging each year.
Many products contain palm oil, which means they are contributing to deforestation and climate change.
And other chemicals in the product can be harmful to wildlife, and we wash these straight down our sinks.
There are changes you can do to make your beauty routine more eco-friendly.
You can choose to use plastic-free and plant-based cosmetic products, like soap bars instead of bottled soap. And there are simple ways of making your own products, like toothpaste, deodorant and moisturiser.
But don't forget to use the products you already have first to avoid creating waste.
Did you know the fashion industry is responsible for an estimated 10% of all global carbon emissions? That's more than maritime shipping and international flights combined. A large contributor to this is fast fashion. Low quality and low cost clothes that are made quickly and appear in the fast turnover of fashion trends. So, what can we do to reduce our impact on the planet while still looking fabulous? Buying clothes second-hand reduces the demand for the production of new clothing. So shop second-hand or take part in community clothes swaps.
Never throw clothing away. Pass items on to someone else, or you could even make some money by selling clothes on sites like Vinted.
When buying new clothing, try and buy things that you'll wear for a long time.
And consider clothes that are made out of recycled material or eco-textiles, like organic cotton and hemp.
You can even learn how to repair old clothing or upcycle it into something new.
%75% of the world's food comes from just 12 plant and 5 animal species. Our reliance on these food sources can impact our health, threaten food security, and damage our planet.
For example, demand for meat drives global warming because livestock produce vast amounts of greenhouse gases.
So how can we make our diets more environmentally friendly? Choosing to eat different foods can have a massive impact on the environmental footprint of our diet. For example, if you change from eating beef or lamb to chicken or pork, it reduces the greenhouse gas emissions of your diet by up to 36%, and by up to 58% if you change to eating plant-based proteins instead.
Consider where food has come from and where possible choose local or British produced food. And try to eat food that's in season, as it probably wouldn't have travelled as far to get to your plate.
Our demand for seafood is leading to overfishing, which is a massive threat to the health of our oceans.
It's estimated that over 70% of the world's fish population is either fully exploited or depleted.
Fishing techniques can also be ecologically damaging. Some are worse than others, such as trawling, which can damage the seabed and its ecosystems.
Fishing practices aren't always selective. Sometimes other species can be caught. These species are then discarded. This is known as bycatch. An estimated 300,000 whales and dolphins are killed through bycatch each year.
You can help by becoming an informed consumer.
Choose certified sustainable seafood. Avoid overfished species like tuna, cod and salmon. And opt for locally caught seafood where possible.
You could even replace some fish-based meals with the vegetarian equivalent.
Households are responsible for approximately 11% of global greenhouse gas emissions. So it's vital that we take action to maximise energy efficiency in our homes. Some ways we can reduce energy loss in homes are to use draft stoppers, improve insulation, only use appliances when necessary and ensure they're turned off when not used, installing double glazed windows, as well as using eco mode when you have the option to. And on a bigger scale, we should be supporting research and investment into more energy efficient technologies.
In the UK, the average person uses 150 litres of water a day.
And it's expected that the global demand for fresh water will outstrip the supply by 40% by 2030.
We should all reduce our water use to preserve this precious resource.
Easy changes to make include switching from baths to showers, turning the tap off when you brush your teeth, washing full loads of laundry, and collecting rainwater for your gardening.
Installing water-saving devices like new shower heads or water-efficient toilets can also make a big difference. And don't ignore any leaks. A dripping tap can waste 1 litre of water every hour, so it's important to fix leaky plumbing.
Living sustainably is important because it means we can meet the needs of the current human population without compromising those of future generations. No one person can change everything, but with each of us making decisions to live more sustainably, we stand more of a chance of preserving natural resources and the environment.
Having a voice and being able to use it is a privilege. We all have the right to speak up about the change we want to see and what we want our future to look like. especially when it comes to climate change.
Signing petitions is the easiest way for you to amplify your voice and to make sure your concerns are heard by the government. Petitions can inform the government about issues that may be overlooked but are still of great importance to many people.
Speaking with your political representatives is one way you can use your voice to make changes in your community. It's their job to represent the views of the people in their constituency, and engaging with them can lead to your questions being raised in Parliament, helping to push changes on a local and national scale. We invited Ben Lake, our MP, to Cardigan Bay Marine Wildlife Centre to chat to him about nature and climate change.
What do you love about nature in Cardigan?
Well, what I love about nature in Cardigan, I suppose, is the variety that we have, because compared with other parts of the country, I think we're very lucky that we have both marine and land mammals, birds that we can enjoy and appreciate. I think if I was to kind of try and pinpoint my favourite sort of part of nature, probably is the fact we do have porpoises and dolphins, because it's quite special when you see them, a pod of dolphins or porpoises in the harbour, don't you think?
How can we apply our targets from COP15 and COP27 to our local area?
That's another great question. I think it all starts with making sure that we have a local plan. And I know there's work going on to develop sort of a Ceredigion plan, both for nature recovery and also to update the sort of carbon sequestration and reduction plan on the county council level. And that's really important, because unless we have a plan, we won't be able to do as much as we should be able to do. So I think first thing, you have to have a plan. And to bring in, yes, the county council, which will bring in the schools, the care homes, but also if we can bring in then the local police, the local hospitals and health, because taken together, they contribute a large amount of people in the county, and also some of the emissions and land. So if we can bring everybody together and to have a plan then, so everybody knows what their responsibility is locally, I think we could implement the targets and achieve them. But without that plan, I'm worried that people will try to do a lot of good things, but if they're not working together, they won't be able to do it as effectively as they would if they cooperated closely. So I think a plan is the big ask.
Yeah.
Throughout history, there have been many examples of brave individuals coming together as a community to speak out about injustices and to create lasting change.
Think civil rights, LGBTQ+ rights, and the ozone layer protests.
Seas, there's no planet B. Save our seas, there's no planet B. Save our seas, there's no...
We must follow in these footsteps to empower ourselves and our communities to come together and save our planet.
Save our seas, there's no planet B. Save our seas.
If we all use our voices together,
we will be louder than one person alone.
Climate change is one of the greatest challenges humankind has ever faced. Speaking up isn't always easy, but it's often worthwhile and rewarding. By using your voice, you can use your opinions and knowledge to make a positive change to the world.
There is only one planet Earth, so we must do everything we can to ensure we leave a safe and healthy planet for future generations.
Our children and grandchildren deserve to live surrounded by diverse ecosystems, thriving nature and healthy seas.
We care a lot about our beautiful blue planet and are taking climate action to ensure its future.
And we hope we've inspired you to join us. Everyone can play a part in the fight against climate change.
from helping to protect our climate heroes, those incredible species that benefit our environment.
To making simple changes to live more sustainably in whatever way works for you.
And using your voice to advocate for change.
Every action and every voice matters, and we need you to help us secure a safer world for our futures.